Welcome friends, welcome to Miss Lori's Craft Room. Today we're going to, I'm doing another giant flower tutorial. This one has a different center. If you can see, it looks more rose-like in the center, which I really love. So let's get started. Okay, so today we're going to use, excuse me. Okay. Boy, I'm just a mess today. Okay, so you have 4 different petal sizes. Alright. 8 each and 2 centerpieces. Alright. The file will be in the description from my store. So I've cut 8 of each one. You're probably not going to need 8 cent of this smallest one, but I generally just cut it all real quick, so I just do 8 each. So you might have some petals left over. You also need about a 4x4 circle or square. Okay. Excuse me. So on this one, I have inked it. But you don't have to do that. I just, of course, you guys, if you watch my tutorials, you know I like to ink things. So this was all cut with 8.5 by 11 paper. So because I could like attach pieces together, I would say that I probably used about 18 to 20 pieces of paper. Okay, so this size fit the 8.5 by 11. So that's how it's sized. So the file is sized pretty correctly when you bring it into Design Space. So let's get started. So obviously you need a hot glue gun, and if you're going to ink, you need some ink, and you need a dauber, and then you also need something round to curl your petals on. Alright? So let's get started. So the first thing you have to do with every petal is you're going to see it has a cut. So you're just going to put a dab of glue right here on the corner, and then you're just going to overlap it. I would say about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so you can see that what that happens is that makes it curl. It gives it that. Curls it up, okay? Makes it look like a flower. Alright, and so then if you want to ink it, so you just use your dauber. This ink's close to my heart. It's ruby. I'm not real happy with it, but it'll do. So you can just, remember, you can just do as heavy or as light as you want. My dauber's kind of getting all worn out, so it's kind of leaving it a little bit more messy than I want. So let's pull off some of those hairs. Alright. And on this one I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom because I want to give it that depth. Alright? And then you also need to do the centers. So with this one, what I did is I just laid it down, because I want this to be, on the center, I want it to be pretty heavily inked. So I'm just running it along the edge, because I really want the center to have a lot of color. Okay, so I'm actually going to do both sides of this just on the edge of one of them, on the back side, because you'll be able to see it a little bit, and so I just want it to have a little color on the inside too. Okay, alright, so all the petals are inked, and everything has been glued on the bottom. The most efficient way to do this is to do all your gluing, all your inking, then all your rolling, and then that way you'll get done faster. Okay, so the way you roll it is I usually stack 2 or 3, and then I'll roll it back like that. See? And then you get that nice curve. Okay, and so do this with all of your petals. And you can do it super curl, like that one I did like a lot. See, so that one is really curly. And these weren't so much, okay? So, oh, one more. Okay, so the tiniest ones, you're going to, now these are different. These are going to curl in instead of out. So the smallest ones, just do the opposite. Roll them in, okay? And you'll see why. Alright, so let's get started assembling our flower. So to start with, you need your 2 centers. So this is super simple to do, and it's really cool. So the way I start is I'll put just a touch of glue right here on one of them, and then I'm going to make it into a petal like this. See how that is? So just going to hold it for a minute until it cools down so it's glued. Alright. So on each one you can see that I've bent them up, because it's important that you get a flat bottom. The first time I did this I didn't do it, and it didn't work. So okay, so the next one you do is I kind of just bend this a little bit first before I put the glue on. And I'm just going to put a touch of glue right here and right here. Now beware, this is going to be hot. So, and what you're going to do is you're going to cup it around. Ooh, it's hot. Cup it around like that. And hold it. Guess you actually have to have the paper touching each other for it to actually glue together. Alright, so obviously I missed, and I put the glue down a little bit too low. It's nothing like watching glue dry, huh? Okay, so you're just going to repeat this, obviously. So obviously put the glue up a little higher than I did on that first one, because I did it too low. And then you're just going to repeat this, and you're going to cup it. And see how I'm leaving? You leave a space. Don't get it too snug. You want to leave an opening, so like almost like your finger could kind of get in there. Okay. Do the last one. So see how it's starting to look like a rose center? Okay, so then you're going to do it coming up. Alright. This glue is really hot. So, okay, so just going to do the same thing with the center. Fold up the petals. And then this one, you're going to put a little glue on the bottom. And then you're going to glue it in. And you're going to do the same thing you did with the first one. And on this you wouldn't want to start with this one, because you already have a cup there. So you want to do the opposite. So your offsetting it. So this one's here and then this one's here. And now you're going to want to do this side. And it does make a difference, because if you did it the other way, it wouldn't look right. Okay, and you're just going to hold it and burn yourself. If you're not burning yourself, you're not doing it right. All right. See how that looks like the inside of a rose? Isn't that pretty? And see how I wanted to ink this on the inside and the outside? Because you're going to see the inside and the outside on this in this part of it. On the other petals, you won't. Now I did on the smallest petals, because they're going to be turned in, I inked them on both sides, because I wanted to have ink on both sides. Okay, let's get started making the rest of the flower. So you're going to take your shape. So I chose about this because I want the flower to be, so when the finished flower is going to be about 21 or 22 inches. So if you want it to be smaller, make your petals smaller, okay? If you don't want such a giant flower, cut these smaller. So just size everything smaller, okay? So you want to glue on the outside. So you're going to glue them on the end and on the edge of your paper. Start opposite each other. And I'm just putting glue on the edge of this part for this one. Okay, see, and it's going to get so giant you won't be able to see the outside. So if you want smaller, just cut your thing smaller. Now, one thing is, what was I going to say? Oh, I did cut this one with my Cricut, all of it. But a lot of times what I do, because you have to cut so many, to save time, I cut one set of a template, and then I cut the rest in a stack. I stack them up and cut them by hand. You can get it cut out in like 5 minutes versus an hour. So I love my Cricut, but when you're doing this, it can kind of take a while. Alright, so one thing that I do that some people do, might not do, is, see how it's kind of floppy. So when you put it up on a wall, it's going to flop down. So one thing that I do at this stage is I'm going to take between the petals and I'm going to glue this petal to the back petal. I'm just going to put a touch of glue on the back petal, and then I'm going to hold them together. So one thing, I'm going to do that with all the petals, because this way when you put your hook on the wall, these petals are going to stay out. Because you don't want all your petals to be going blop right in the middle. It won't look good, and then you won't have a pretty design. So you just see, I'm just putting it on the back and just touching them to each other. And then this way, it just is going to give it a lot more stability for displaying. There. Okay? So now let's start on the next size down. So we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to go across from each other, but you want to offset. Okay, so don't put them like right next. I mean, if you wanted that look, you can do that. But to make it look more realistic, do it like in the middle of the two back petals. So now I found on the next one I have to put more glue. I put more glue down, clear up to the top. On this next one, because you want it to that's going to give it the stability you want. So you're going to give it more, not just glue on the end, you're going to give it more glue up. And See, I'm just going across from each other. Okay, just keep going. And if you want more petals and you want it fuller, cut more, okay? This is your project. Make it look the way you want it to make it look, okay? Okay, so that's our second layer. So, and I did have a petal left over. I think I actually cut 9 of that one. All right, so now we're going to move to the next one. Same thing. We're just, this kind of boring, I know, to watch me glue. Okay, so I'm just going to put more glue and offset this one again. Isn't this easy? This is just, it's not scary at all to make these. It's just cardstock. I mean, this cardstock was so cheap. This was stuff I got at Joann's for like $2.50 for a pack of 50, and I didn't even use half of it. So this flower is going to cost me like $1.25. So, I mean, that's just really great. And especially if you want to try to resell them, you can, it's great. Okay. So it's starting to build in the middle there. It's starting to come up. All right, one more. Okay. All right. So I wish you guys could see more how big it is, but in order to do it, so it's really cool looking. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to see now, because we glued those back petals, everything is going to be really stable when you put it on the wall. All right, so now we're going to do the inside petals. So see, this one's kind of blinging up, and that is bugging me, so more than likely I'll probably glue that on the back like this, just to kind of get it to lay down. I don't want any blinging up. Okay, so the difference on this one, instead of going this, we're going to, you're gonna fold these up. Okay, the small ones, fold them into the center, fold them into the curve. Okay. Okay. So same thing, you're just going to put the glue on here. And see, now these are going to come in. And you want them to come in because you want it to look like a real flower. If you want to take a class on how to do this, I'm going to be teaching at the Cricut Convention in Alabama, Mobile, Alabama in August. If you want any information on that, you can, I actually posted a video on it, and that has the link to the convention. It's going to be really cool. I'm very much looking forward to it. I've never been to Mobile, to Alabama before. It's going to be really hot. Okay, so I used 7 of them. I'm going to leave the 8th one off. I don't need it, I don't think. But you guys use it if you want. See, now we could even stop right there. I mean, that is super pretty. I think that looks really nice alone. So now you're just going to put hot glue on the middle and open this up. And you're going to position that right in the center. Isn't that lovely? It's so pretty. It turned out so nice. So Oh, isn't that pretty? So see how the depth of it, I really like how just the depth, the little bit of inking gives it really depth. I tend to not use white because I don't really like this darkness of it, but I had white and so I wanted to use it. So I'm just going to show you guys if I can get my camera. Okay, there it is. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. That would make a shower, a baby shower, or anything. So good. So thank you for coming to Miss Lori's Craft Room. As I said, the link will be in the description. Thank you guys. God bless you.